Hello, dear ones. I am Eleonora from the channel The Awakening Path, and today is Wednesday, 11 o'clock Pacific time. It's time for another honored guest to introduce you a new modality or a new way to find the answers that will shift your perception and help you to get away from that loop of repeating the old patterns that keep you in fear, false evidence appearing real, and also in scarcity, in sickness, and all those things that you really don't want to experience. So today, his name is Bob the Psychic. I have used his service for many, many times, and I can tell you that he is the most clear psychic channel that I ever spoke with. Have a session with him is like it speaks straight to your higher self, is straight to God. There is no doubt when you ask something. They just say, you're not ready to know this yet, but next year you need to take care of this first. That's the type of reading you can get with him. And besides that, he also a healer. I'm gonna talk to you about that in a little while. For now, I would like to invite you to welcome Bob the Psychic so we can have some amazing divine insights together today. Let me bring him in. In the end, we're gonna, hi, Bob.
Hi. Okay.
Yes, I can see you. Welcome to the Awakening Path. It's a pleasure
Thank
to
you for having me.
It's really a pleasure to have you here. And before we go to business, I always would like to know a little bit more of the guests. And the question that I ask to everyone is the same. How has been your spiritual evolution until now?
Well, my spiritual revolution started when I turned 50. I'm 64, so about 15 years ago. And that was when another psychic told me that I had a gift and that I should be helping people with it and doing tarot, being a psychic and doing tarot readings and mediumship and channeling and all the things that I do, energy healing. And so that's kind of what started it. She told me that. I thought she was crazy. I happened to work at a retail store at that time, and that day I was at work. I went to work, and someone came in who was a medium. We started talking about that. I'm not even sure how I found out she was a medium. And then she had an event. I went to her house. At the event, all the people there were talking about learning how to read tarot cards, and I thought, wow, I've heard it twice now in a week. Maybe this is something. And that's kind of how it got started. And so over the last since I was 55, so almost 10 years, over the last 10 years, I do it full time. It's really gotten stronger. My gift is it's pretty amazing, and I notice that it gets better and better as time goes on. Because when I do readings, I don't ask people any questions, or if I do ask them, I put the answer in it because I don't fish. So that's one of the things I do. I also read with my eyes closed because I like to concentrate on the energy, and that way I'm not looking at the person that I'm reading. So there's no way I'm reading energy off them. And that's kind of how it started. I have a lot of word of mouth clients and clients who find me, on one of my various social media channels. And then we do readings and they keep coming back. So I know that I'm doing something good and really helping them. And I've done a little bit for you in the past, and I know it lined up. And I know we had someone, I called someone who I've never done a reading for, but I happen to know, and she's all excited. And I can't wait to tell her some stuff. So we'll see how it goes. And oh
Wow,
yeah, and I don't know her very well, much beyond like her name and how we met at a conference, and so it'll be good.
that's amazing. But let's go back a little bit. How was your childhood? Did you believe in spirits? Were you raised Catholic or
No, I mean, I
Christian?
was raised Jewish. I'm a Jewish person. And when I was younger, I actually would go to psychics probably twice a year. One of my best
Oh,
friends in high school turned me on to them. We were like 17 or 18, and she and I would go. And that's so I've always believed in it. I always found that it was right. So it wasn't like something that like I had to like that it just like fell on my head. I never believed I had a gift though. And that was kind of interesting. So at the time that the other reader told me that I did. I was involved with someone, and we went out and we bought a deck just for giggles. And so I would like look at her and pick the cards, and then thinking, all right, maybe this means something. And then we would look the meanings of the cards up, and it always matched like specifically what was going on with her. So I knew I was able to like pick. And then in terms of hearing things, that just grew over time. But like when I was younger, I was always very spiritual, very like connected to the universe. I've always believed there's something out there that's greater than ourselves. And now I just tap into it and share that message from a place of like love, light, understanding, compassion, kindness, all the things that people say about me. So that's really
oh,
how it
that's
got started.
amazing. And you are really, really connected, open channel to the other dimensions. And when we talk about other dimensions, my first understanding about channeling, I thought you could only channel spirits like entities or beings from the spiritual realm, but actually you can also channel ETs, that's beings from out of Earth that happen to be in another dimension. And what I understand is from our reading, your reading from you to me, you were able to tap in on those beings also, not only the spiritual, but also get message from my guides from other galactic guides. That's what I like to call them. Um, did you always believe there was life, intelligent life outside Earth, or?
No, I never really thought about it. But now that I'm in this realm, it's clear to me there is. When your guides or those spirits spoke through me, there's another person that I read all the time, and she has guides that came to her from, she went to the pyramids in Egypt. And while she was there, she heard them. And then she asked me, do you know anything about this? She showed me the picture that she took inside the pyramid, and all of a sudden I started hearing stuff from them. And the way I know that I'm doing this, because as my eyes are closed, I can hear the words coming out, but I know they're not mine. And sometimes I'll even feel the heat like on my head as whatever the communication is. For example, last weekend we saw each other at a psychic fair, and someone came up to me and she asked if I had a message for her, and I closed my eyes and I just like went off, I guess. For at least 10 minutes, I was going, I had no idea how it was. But when I got done, I said, okay, I have no idea what I said because I never remember. And I told her my whole head right here was hot from whatever the message was there. And
You
when I
are
opened up my eyes
sun
and looked at
channel.
her, she was crying. So whatever I said landed, which was great. It's kind of a running joke I have with some friends about like, how many people did you make cry today? Because I know when people come and see me and that they have that release, that crying, that I know I did my job. I know I helped them release whatever it was they needed to release or acknowledge whatever it is. A lot of people come to me for the confirmation of what they already know is going on in life, or kind of like what they already felt. I hear that a lot too. But when I was younger, I always did believe, and I would go like, twice a year, birthday, beginning of the year, just to see what they had to say. And I still do that now. I don't go, I mean, well, I know a ton of them. So when I have a question, I just call someone and just ask them, okay, this is what I think or this is what I got the answer is. What are your guides saying? That kind of thing. So I still use it now because I still think there's things to learn, and that even, that I have a gift and I can use it with myself. I still like to get other people's opinions because I want to make sure, or the other people who are connected's thoughts, because I want to make sure that whatever I'm hearing is not what I want to hear, but what I need to hear. Because sometimes I wonder about that just for me, because, you're kind of
Yeah.
doing it on yourself. You're not really, what is the word I'm looking for? Like independent or, not emotionally involved, that kind of thing.
Yes. what I want to call the attention of who is watching is what our job is to be a clear channel, and whoever even send it to you, to Bob or to me, was your guides and the guardian angel or your higher self.
Oh, who are
Because
the
they know they can use us as a channel to convey a message or even a healing to you.
correct? Yeah, so when I ask like who the guides are or the voice that I'm hearing, that I hear in my head that they call themselves the Jeromes. There's nine of them. They keeps always say the same thing. What's interesting about that is my middle name is Jerome, so it's kind of interesting that that's the name of what the guides are. And I know there's nine of them. Sometimes I'll hear, but only seven of us are here today. But I know there's a total of nine. And I hear from them all the time. Excuse me, but it's not like but to like do a reading on someone, I have to like, close my eyes and like connect. It's not like I would be walking down the street and someone walks by me and I'll hear, oh, tell them blah, blah, blah. Because my gift doesn't work that way. I mean, I know people whose gift is that way, where they have to almost like turn it off. Mine is not that way, and I'm kind of blessed that way because I think it would be you know, difficult. I don't want to say difficult, but hard. Like if you went to a drugstore or like, I don't know, the Safeway, the grocery store, and all of a sudden you're hearing everybody in the store, that would be a lot.
And also another thing is we all have free will here. And when what we do, we kind of connect very deep with the person's energy. So we need to respect their free will. For example, I'm also a channel, I do through automatic writing, but I cannot just hear that that a friend of mine in Brazil is having a problem, and I'll just think, oh, I think I'm gonna just get a message for her from her higher self to help out. No, if I get inspired, I call her and I need to ask because information shift the perception of the person, and instead of they have one experience, there will be a fork on the line, they're going to have another experience, but it may be the first one that they supposed to have will bring a bigger growth. So it's not really for us psychic to be walking on the street and, hey, you red shirt, come over here. We
Yes.
don't need to, we're not supposed to do that. There is really rare cases that some people are guided to do that, but it's very specific, and then it's come from their own guide of that person. So
Yes.
because that's very, very rare. Usually is with the permission of the person.
Right. My
And
experience has been when some of my clients say, oh, a psychic came up to me, they are not really of the light. We'll just put it that way. I don't want to, usually what they're trying to get money. And there's someone here in town who does it who's dishonest. And so without going into it really any further. So I would say if you're watching this and someone comes up to you out of the blue, just kind of, I want to say just be wary a little bit. Because like I don't do that. I mean, one time I only did it once when I was working at the department store and I was doing customer service and someone came in and in my head I'm hearing, tell her she is an amazing soul and that this too will pass. So after the transaction, I said to her, you know what? I'm a psychic. I hear messages. I am supposed to tell you this. And I told her, and she looked at me like I was psycho. And I don't, and after I did that, I thought, all right, I'm never going to do that again because, they're not, maybe she needed to hear it right then and it was all legit. But after that happened, and I kind of said to my guys, yeah, let's not do that again. That's
oh
really never
yes,
happened.
you can set boundaries.
Yes.
I
And
have
I'm sure that's exactly like what I did.
Yes, I have a friend she's highly gifted too, and she's kind of a median psychic. Median psychic is a name that you do like when you connect to spirits that left the earth plane.
Right.
And she just said very clear, look, I don't want to see any dead people. Find another way for me to work with them. I am okay to feel, I'm even okay to hear a message in my head, but I just don't want to see it.
Right. Right.
So they never showed up because she put the boundaries very.
Yeah,
So
I never see them either. I hear them. Sometimes I will see like how they look like after they pass, like whether it was a car accident or if they, if they had a medical thing or if they, shot themselves or something. I mean, sometimes I will see that, but unless, someone asks the person who I'm doing the medium for, unless they ask something like that, I normally do not see it. I just hear the voices.
when you say hear the voices, do you hear with your own voice or somebody else's voice? It's different.
Sometimes it's somebody else's. It feels like it's somebody else's. For example, the guides, when they speak to me, it's quiet. It's like quieter than, the voice I have in my head. So yes, it's definitely a different voice, definitely like energetic. And the more I have done this, the louder it's gotten. In the very beginning, when it first happened, I was like, what was that? So, and I remember the first time I actually channeled a message, I was laying on my couch. This was many years ago, and I just had my eyes closed and I was thinking about something, and all of a sudden I just started talking. When I got done, and I don't remember what I said, but at the time I did remember what I said, and I called the woman who's told me I should be doing this. I'm like, what was that? What? And she said, oh, well, you're a channel. And that was the first time I found out about it. And then it was kind of like working with, like your highest self and the universe to like hone that skill so that you could not necessarily control it, but make it to come in louder or answer more people's questions or be, around. So like when I do a reading, I mean, I hold tourmaline, black tourmaline in my left hand, because it kind of keeps me grounded. And I have a bunch of grounding stuff all around me that I use when I do readings. And I
Amazing.
spray, and I sage and do all that to,
I
to
have a
keep the
sun
energy.
guy here with me.
Yeah, so yeah. So I think you get
Oh.
that as a member of the club. When they give you the phone number that all the psychics talk on at 2 a.m., I think that's when you get the rock. Okay, that was a joke. So,
He's very funny too.
yeah.
What is very always welcome. So you realize that you are a trans channel. That's what you did on the psychic fair when you just put your mind in the background and the entity. I don't like to call entity because it sounds
Yeah,
kind of
it's not
weird.
really an
I
entity
prefer to call being. And then
being. Yeah.
you just use your vocal to speak through you.
Yes.
So I'm
And
not a
it's not like so the when I was at the store, the woman who was the medium, she is a trance medium. So what she does is the person that she, speaks for, she actually like almost becomes him. So her voice gets low, she sounds like a guy when she's doing it. She scratches her head, her face because he had a full thick like beard and mustache. So when she's going into being him and channeling him, that was just fascinating. I'm not that. I don't like change and do that, but I've seen people do it more than once. I've seen like I know at least three people who do that, and it's just
Yeah,
interesting
I'm
watching
very
how their voice
familiar.
changes. I know my voice changes too. Sometimes I talk fast, so it gets slower. When I'm doing my friend who went into the pyramids, when I'm speaking for them, it's a deeper voice and very like slow and methodical. So it just kind of like depends.
Yeah, in my case, I it's more through intuition for me, and I do also automatic writing. So the thoughts comes to me, but with my own voice. But I learn to differentiate, and I know for sure when the information comes, that's not coming from me.
Yes, right.
So let me just give a broad understanding to people that are watching how those psychic abilities really work. For example, in the case of Bob, he has a group of guides that got together in the other side of the veil, to kind of organize this work for him. For example, when a person go and have a read with him, the guide of those persons, those people, get in contact with Bob's guide, and then the communication happen. Sometimes Bob can hear their guides straight, or they just convey a message and Bob keep hearing his own guides, but with a message from them. because going to the fifth dimension, everybody is one. The consciousness is just one, so everybody knows all. It's only a matter of focus in something, and then you can get all the answers you need. Just for you to kind of understand more or less how that works. And what I choose to do, Bob, I always instate every time that I open for channel, I always instate to my guides, spirit guides, and guardian angel that I only want to communicate with beings of love and light. If I get a message from somebody that already passed, it's hard to really guarantee if the person is in a hospital, getting recovered, or if they already aware of, yeah, that their true nature is love. So what I do, I ask the person to, if the person is vibrating love and light, they come forth. If not, and then their higher self to come and communicate. Did you have any experience where beings that are not, there was not vibrating in love came true?
Yes, there was one I there was someone who I was involved with who was, yeah. Anyways, but there, when I would do it for her, I would hear myself say that the people I was, because she would ask, who am I speaking to? And I would say the tricksters, and I would like giggle about it. And so when I got done, and of course I don't remember, I would ask her, did you ask like who it was? Was it the Jeromes? And she said, no, it's some group called the Tricksters. So then I did some like work. I closed my eyes, meditate, whatever, and discovered they were not of the light, and they were there because her energy like called that in, that she wasn't being sincere. It had a lot to do with her. And so that was interesting. The other thing that's happened too is when I do mediumship, so the way it works for me is right side is mom and left side is dad. And when I close my eyes, I see people like if it's someone on your mom's side, I will see someone standing on your right side. It's kind of like rows of seats. So the front row is like brother, sister, the next row is mom and dad, the next row is grandparents, and then it just keeps going back. But sometimes I'll see someone like standing, not in the seats, but next, and then I have to ask them, are you here for this person's highest good? Are you actually related to them? And 9 times out of 10, the answer is no, and they move away. So when you asked about like checking, not that that was like a dark entity, but I feel like sometimes they kind of show up because they're curious. And that's been something I've learned over time, because in the beginning, when people would say, I knew I was getting something, but they said, no, that doesn't sound like my relative, I realized they all had that in common because I could see it when I had my eyes closed. So that's when I ask, like, are you really a relative? And sometimes when I'm doing mediumship too, I'll start by saying out loud in my head every which way I can that, only for this person's highest good and only relatives of this person and any other being or entity or anything like that, you are not welcome here. Please go back to where you came from. And I feel like that kind of sets the intention and sets the boundary. And that does seem to, I
Create a
mean,
safe
when I do that,
space.
I don't get the people who I know are not supposed to be there.
Yes, and create a safe space for you and also for the person.
Right. And then like I ground, and between every reading and stuff, I'll go for a walk, or I'll go have something to drink like water or something. And then sometimes if I feel like there was a lot of mediumship stuff going on, I'll sage my room. Because sometimes, especially if the person from the other side shows up, and they're like, if they're a cigarette smoker, I'll smell cigarette smoke in my house. And I'll be like, oh, okay, someone's here to see them. Or like my dog passed away about a month ago. She's still running around the house because I hear her. Like 2 days ago, I heard her in here shaking off. You know how dogs like shake? I heard that noise and I'm like, okay, there's nothing here that would make that noise. So I know it's her. So, and that's okay. I'm not chasing her away. She's welcome to stay all she wants. So, but that's kind of what happens to
Very
me.
nice. So we do have a guest today that Bob will do a sample, but I see there is some people online watching us. So if you would like to have an answer, to have a question answered by Bob, just type your question on the chat. And in the end, I will ask Bob to answer the question for you.
Oh, okay. Yes, that'd be great. Yeah, because I'm looking over at my screen over here and I'm like, I don't see the chat, but okay.
Yes, I can see the chat here. Let me
Yeah,
just,
sure.
yes, I'll make sure I have all my, yes. So what's the name of the person that's in the waiting room? Is Kimberly.
Kimberly, correct.
Yes, I'm gonna let Kimberly come and we'll do a demonstration. She'll ask questions to Bob, so you have an idea, you that are watching, have an idea what to expect when you book a session with Bob. And after that, I'm gonna show Bob's website. Let me admit Kimberly. Kimberly.
There she is. Unmute.
Unmute Kimberly.
Yeah, there we go.
Welcome, Kimberly.
Hi.
Thank you for accepting coming.
Hi, welcome or welcome. I'm so grateful to be here. You've been amazing. It's so fun to hear all of your gifts.
Thank you, thank you. So Kimberly and I met. We met at a conference about I don't know a month ago maybe, and we just chit chatted. I don't know her very well or at all. So what would you like to know? Do you want me to do? You want to just ask me a question? Would you like me to do cards, or I'll just give you a message? Hold on a second. You are really in the right place at the right time, and you're using your newfound angelic power or your angelic guidance to really affect the lives of thousands of people around you. You've always been someone who has that angelic ability or that sense to change the world, but within the last 10 years is when you really like stepped into it and you realized that there was so much more to yourself and all of those around you, and that among the people around you, you demand that they have a high sense of light and love and vibration. You don't really like being around people who are dishonest or who are just like dragging you down in some ways. So one of the most important things for your relationships and people around you is that they're on like the same path and the same journey that you're on. And the journey is about healing and about nutrition and just about connection in so many ways. And that moving forward in the next 3 or 4 years, there's many new opportunities coming your way. I want to say, have you started writing your book yet? Have I already asked you that?
No.
Yeah, there's a book. There
Okay.
might be two, there might be three of them. Although, wait, that might be Eleonora. Was this Eleonora or Kimberly? Nope, they're saying no, it's Kimberly. There's like three of them. There's nutrition, there's like spiritual guidance and connection, and something about how to living your life, like living your life authentically because you're definitely doing that now. And what I'm hearing about that is when you were in your 20s, you might not have been. You might have been a wild child and done things that were, I mean, you had to go through that time, but I feel like now you look back at that going, wow, what was I thinking? And so, but now you're very much like, the way you are. I wasn't even looking at you. Did any of that land? Did it make sense?
All of it. It's great, but no judgment on my 20s. That it was
Yeah.
ever.
Yeah. 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 They're telling me you were like the party queen. So, okay, great. Yeah, you were. Look, okay, yeah, look at your eyes. Okay, so do you have a question? What can I answer for you?
Oh wow.
So I'll give you some more. Your
Thank you.
business is, I feel like your business is struggling in some way, and it really has nothing to do with you. It just has to do with the vibration of the people that you've been attracting, because the vibration around the earth or the community that you're in is just in a place of shift. That all of you've already done all of like the. Well, that's interesting, but it looks like a fruit tree. And I wanted to say, oh, I thought she's got all the low-hanging fruit, the easy ones, but they're pointing all at the top. Like you've got all the high frequency people already going like the top of the tree, and now you're down to like the bottom. And you don't really, I don't want to say you don't like them, but there's something about it where you feel as though it's like too much work, not in a bad way, but in a way where like, they don't, it's like well, how do I say it in a nice way? It's like they don't understand. There's no judgment against them, that group of people, but it's like their vibration or where they are spiritually doesn't match like where you're at. So as you're talking to them, they might think you're speaking Chinese and you're not. So that might make some sense. So if that helps you any, whatever I'm talking about though, they're telling when it's going to like in October. So if I'm right, in October, well, if I'm right that it's slow now, in October is when it's going to pick back up because a lot of the things going around in the world right now will be resolved to some extent. I feel like there's still some bad coming, but we're almost at the bottom, not yet. But I feel like in October, for you especially, things will be so much better. Hopefully that made sense.
Amazing. Yes.
That's amazing.
Do you have a question? If not, I'll draw some cards and I'll show people how I do that.
I love the card reading.
You like the cards? Okay, so
you're getting all the questions, so it's perfect.
oh, wow. All right, so the way I draw cards, and then I'll change to this little camera right there so you can see them. So I close my eyes and I draw them from, oh, let me make it face up. I draw them like whichever ones feel like they don't fit. I'll just draw 3 for you. Hold on. And then I tap to see like where they go. Yeah, oh, look at this. This is totally you. All right, one more. That one. Yeah, all right, I'll do it really quick. Hold on. This one. That makes sense to me. And top or bottom, top. Wow. All right, let's see if this lines up. Where's my little thing? I'll switch the camera. Okay. So in my little layout here that this was just like given to me by the universe. So no one else does it like this. So the way this works is this card at the bottom, which is judgment, is your foundation, like your feet. The emperor is the one in your head. This is where you are now. That's where you're going. So in your feet right now, judgment. So judgment to me, this is about releasing to the universe all the things around you that you don't need anymore, and kind of letting a lot of things go and being grateful for where you're at. It's kind of the shift you've had since it might be March of last year, so a little more than a year. If there was something that happened last March that started you down a new cycle or a new road, that's what this is talking about. In your head right now, you have the Emperor. Emperor, this is like the father figure in the tarot deck. This is wisdom, boundaries, rules, understanding. It's just like how wise you are. And for you, you're wise on so many. Oh yeah, they keep showing me the angel wings. You're wise on so many levels, and that you can talk about, I want to say, almost any topic and command respect, just because of the way you've been raised, the things you've learned in life, the things that you went through. I have no idea how old you are, so please be in your 40s. I don't think you are, but you could be at any rate. But they're saying it's when you were in your, how old are you? Just
47.
Oh my God, it made sense then. Right, so your early 40s. That you don't look 47. Okay, never mind. Anyways, but this is like things that you've learned in the 40s, especially I want to say since 42, like since the last 5 years or so. And you're also learning in your head to put all that garbage behind you so that you can concentrate on new abundance, which is what the Page of Pentacles is. So this is all about the coins or abundance. This is all about you moving forward. Questions about that? Did those two sound like you?
Yes, thank you.
So oh, I'm not done yet. All right, so here's where you are now. This is being burned out, like kind of being at rock bottom. I don't feel like it's a negative place, but I feel like it's just that dip I was talking about. So swords are about making decisions, and this character has all the swords in his back, like, okay, no more thinking, I gotta be in action, like he's ready to be in action. So it's interesting that the next card in the order that the cards go, the next one is the page. Here is the page stirring things up. So he's kind of burned out here, but now he's like standing up. He's using this sword to stir things up in his mind, creating new opportunities. That's why the clouds are there. That's all the energy that you're creating. But there's some part of you right now, the Two of Pentacles. This is about like being in your own way. So he is juggling the coins. Pentacles are about abundance, like job, house, car, money, that kind of thing. There's something that you're blocking yourself on. I feel like you probably don't realize it. But then again, I keep hearing that, oh, you're going to figure it out. When are we figuring it out? It's July, August. Okay, coming up. You're going to figure out what this is. Oh, yeah, because that way by, what month did I say? Was it September or October? I never remember. When I said everything was going to shift, that's what this is. What's also interesting, you'll notice back here, the water, that's kind of like the drama going on in your life or whatever's kind of uncomfortable in some way, but you're ready to do something new. Here's the Two of Wands. Wands are all about passion and excitement and fire and career. And in this card, this character is partnering with the Wands. He's partnering with his passion to really create something new. And for you, the best message is the fact he's holding the world. The world is all about, it can be whatever it is you want it to be. That's why he's holding the world. And then these last two cards, this is just a reminder of like the reviewing that you're doing and looking at how abundance comes to you and really like cementing your path to make sure there's money all around you. Because look, this card just popped out. Well, this is great. Ace of Pentacles, new job, new house, new car, new money, new business. What is it? It's new businesses. Yeah, it's new business for you. But that's interesting that I got, oh, look, you're doing the reviewing. Here it comes. And when all this happens, the very last one is the page. Okay, Page of Cups. So this is someone, cups are all about our emotions. This person is bubbly, warm, funny. They think they're hilarious because they're the fish in your cup. It's exactly your personality would be the Page of Cups. This is someone who is really like, I want to say emotional, but not like in a bad way. So again, no judgment on that. But it's kind of interesting. So you're going from a place of being burned out, having this shift around you over the next 4 or 5 months, maybe. And then you're going to get here to be happy because you're doing this release. And up in your head, you're setting new boundaries, putting things behind you that don't really match. Because look at how these two go together, judgment and this one. So this was releasing to the universe. This one is putting his garbage back here to concentrate on abundance. So that's a really quick reading for me. I go really fast, as you can
Wow.
tell. Does that make sense? Did it make sense to you? Do you have any questions about that?
I just love it. And you're right about October, and more things are coming in the next few months. So,
Yeah. And
right.
you're really just having a big like shift. This is like your year to shine. And I feel like like next year you're going to continue vibrating up. I'm hearing in 26, but then in 2027 you're going to be in a place of like even more luck and happiness and growth and really celebrating who you are. And I feel like you're going to be on, well, in 2020, in 2026 they're showing you in my head like on stage talking to people and leading seminars and helping people, and there's other like, ooh, I'm getting the chills. There's other people too that you have with you in this. I don't know that it's a retreat. It feels more like a lecture series where you go from city to city, city, and there's how many people are with you? There might be 3 people with you, so it's a group of 4. So you're up there speaking, but you're the leader and the main person. And then these other 3 people have like auxiliary stuff, not exactly doing what you're doing, but something similar. Hopefully that means, hey, and if you
Amazing,
have an extra spot,
amazing.
maybe one of them is me. I don't know. I'm hearing it's not, but okay.
Bob, that was amazing. And Kimberly, I would like to connect with you afterwards
Okay, thank
because
you.
I see that we can have some things to kind of exchange between us, some energy.
I would
And
love.
Bob, there is some people on the chat, and there is one that needs some healing. I know that you're also a healer. But since Kimberly is here, if she has anything to heal, I want to give her the opportunity to ask you to do your thing that you did it to me.
It's
Kimberly,
funny.
would you like?
Kimberly and I met at a seminar teaching how to heal. So she does the same healing that I
Okay.
do. Yeah, sister.
Okay, so we're gonna skip the healing for you. I would like to thank you
Thank
for coming. And would you have a last message for her, Bob?
You're just love and light, and don't let anyone like hold you back or kick you down, because you're just always like, you're always attracting that light. So when people are always like looking at you or wanting to be around you and being your energy, that's really what it is. And it's just a complete reverse from the person that you were years ago, and that they're saying you should be very proud of what you've been through because you've already accomplished what's on the Akashic record, like your contract for this lifetime. So now it's just party. I don't want to say party, but like really you can do whatever you want now, because I feel like there's so much big stuff coming for you and you already know how to do it. So if you're looking, if as I'm telling you stuff, you're like, well, I don't know what that is. No, you do know. You just got to like step out of it. It's kind of like what you told me one day. Yeah.
I
So
love that. Can I just ask,
sure.
since I did ask, that you said that there's some sort of block I'm getting in my own way. What is that block? Can we remove that?
Yeah. Well, let me ask what it is first. What is her block? It's like feeling of like incomplete or not confidence. It's something from around the age of like 14. Hold on, let me go. Yeah, it's right there. It's something from the age of 14. It's either a disappointment or an experience you had where you kind of like took it in, well, I'm never going to be that way, or there's all this like negative, like darkness around you. But as that was being told to you, it didn't match what you honestly know about the universe and about love and connection and light and all that. That's where I feel like it's where the conflict is. So sometimes you like kind of run up against it. So let me see if I can just like rip it out. So what I'm doing is something, it's similar to, it's called theta healing, but basically it's just energy work. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to pull out whatever it is. And as my eyes are closed, I'm being like guided to it. And then this is putting like more like white light into her and like rubbing it around in some way. So hold on, did I get it? I feel like I did. Let me just do this. Yeah, I did. All right, so I'm going to do some Reiki really quick. So tell me if you might feel the heat. Oh yeah, my hands are on fire. So hopefully that, and I feel like this just kind of like cements it in around you. So, and it will release some of the, it's not fear, it's just like a, did I get it all? Yeah, they said yes. It's like a inner conflict, but it's really down deep. You know what I mean? It's like something like 13 or 14. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. If you cry about it, that's okay, because I saw tears when I had my eyes closed.
Thank
That's
you both.
amazing, amazing, amazing. Well, I love you, Bob, and I would recommend even my parents to go have a reading with you.
Yeah.
And they are not too much into that. Kimberly, I'd like to thank you from the deepest of my heart. And we have two people on the chat here. One is Anne Mary. She just like if you have a message for her.
Message for, yeah, I'm
Anne
looking at her name
Mary.
over there. So Anne Marie, what is the message for Anne Marie? Anne Marie, you need to know that you are on the right track and that it's no accident that you're here right now hearing these messages, because you know you have a very strong sense of spiritual guidance. And in some ways, though, you're, I want to say afraid, or I don't know if embarrassed is the right word, but like afraid to share it or to like let it out. And it's really time for you to do that. And by doing that, I mean, it's really like, I feel like it's just taking a deep breath and just allowing it to come in and being in that place of strength. It's not like you're going to be, running up and down the street with a bullhorn. Oh, I'm spiritual now. That's not it. But it is something about knowing that, because there's been some choices you've made over the last, it might be a couple of weeks, that they were difficult and they might not have seemed right, but they really were. Although they're also saying to me there might have been, well, yeah, here's what I'm getting. If there were tough choices over the last couple of weeks, and and there were two choices, well, there were two things, and one of them was like being more spiritual or being right or stepping up for yourself, and then the other choice was like, if in the situation was like to kind of be less than and kind of like let yourself be walked on or be uncomfortable. I feel like you chose that one, the one that wasn't exactly right. I feel like that's kind of a lesson for you to know, like, no, stand in your power, because there's definitely one situation, it's within the last couple of weeks, where you could have stood in your power, but you might not have because you were afraid. And what I'm hearing on that is that's just kind of something for you to notice. They're not calling it a lesson. They're just saying notice that, so that the next time something similar comes around, you like step into your power. Gosh, I hope that made sense.
Let me
Yeah.
see if she has any, if you can kindly say something to us, or if you have any complementary question, that will be great. Bob, while she take a look, she answers something to us, there is another person that needs some healing. But before we go there, I would like, oh, she just
So
replied
thank you. So I'm
something.
going to guess it did
Mhm.
match.
She
Okay.
said, thank you. Thank you, Anne Marie. And now I would like to share Bob's website. If you'd like to have a reading with Bob, he starts with, I think it's 30 minutes free assessment already. I'm not sure exactly what
Yeah, I
happened.
do. So what I do is I do hour long, hour 30 and 15-minute sessions. My website is bobthepsychic.com. There it is.
In the screen,
So
and
it's
you can also find on the description.
Yes. So I know it says Scottsdale Psychic, but that's the URL. But really, I go by bobthepsychic.com. It's really easy to remember. These are all the things I have, some of the events. Uh, there's resources under, yeah. So these are just some. If you click on accept down there, it'll make the screen bigger.
Oh, okay.
And I'm actually working with an SEO company right now. So some of the pages, they're all there, but they're not all exactly working right, because I'm doing the changes live instead of on a staging site. But if you click on offerings, there's a drop down menu there, and then click on, see all those things that I do. So there's psychic
Yeah.
readings, tarot card, love, energetic clearings. I do mediumship, this is the page that has where you're going to book. So you click on the book now button. It takes you to my calendar. And then from there, after that, it will collect the money. I do readings. Well, you guys are probably not in the Phoenix area, so we'll do it over Zoom or the phone. I prefer Zoom because then I get to see you and you get to see the cards. But some people like doing it on the phone, and that's why I offer that.
And I tell you that it will worth each penny because you can see how fast he is and all he can answer all the questions that you have that you are ready to know the answer.
Yeah.
And you have the ability to give the session to somebody else that you love, that you think that can benefit, but you never take the step to look for Bob.
Yeah. So there's gift cards. You can it will email it to, well, either you or to the person, whatever you want to do, however you want it to be. And I do those all the time too. One of the things I do, I know you're not here, I do bachelorette parties all of the time. In fact, I have two of them this week because I'm on a website that's what they do, and that's a hoot. And I, tell women stuff about, their marriage or about like, the person they're dating or whatever that's all about. So I just love
Oh, that's
helping people and
amazing.
however I can help. The one thing I forgot to say, there's also an option to do an email question with me. So that would be, you would write the question down, I'll record something and send it to you. And I think that's $35. So I try to have all different price points for whatever it is you want and need. And that's basically how it works. I am just right now, this week, this is the week of June 18th, 2025. I have a lot of stuff going on, so my calendar is not that open, but it will be next week. So,
That's amazing, Bob. I'll stop sharing a little bit and let's go to her question. Love yourself first.
yeah,
Let me
love yourself. I have a
what
question for you. I want to know,
I
how
feel
can I heal?
understand.
So, and then I see Anne Marie wrote a bunch of stuff. So I'll read that and I'll respond to whatever she wrote. Okay, so
Okay.
how can you heal? Well, here's what I'm hearing on that. I'm hearing that you need to accept like whatever it is that happened and then kind of like release it. It was a blessing in some sort. They're also suggesting to me that some of the healing might require talking to someone. It's like trauma healing. And there's a lot of great like therapists and stuff who do that. One of the things I'm going to suggest to you is something called EMDR. EMDR, that's what it feels to me, where they're telling me that you could use. That's usually done with a therapist. They put like you stare at the fingers or you stare at something to go away, and then your mind kind of clears whatever this thing is. But the healing has been going on, whatever that situation is it 10? Oh, you're not in front of me. I feel like it might be 10 years, and now is really like the time to do it. And I feel like you're going to be able to do it. They're telling me you're going to be able to do it in July. So if that makes sense to you, we're halfway through June. So maybe in the next 6 weeks, you'll be able to get started on that. But if you can, I feel like if you find a therapist or someone who does EMDR, maybe Google it. Maybe there's a way. I don't know if you can do it yourself. You might be able to. I don't know. But that, I feel like that's really what's going to help you like clear whatever this thing is that you've been carrying with you. I hope. And if you're not, go to my website and make an appointment. I'm happy to help you.
Yes, and just a reminder, I'm also energy healer
Oh,
through
yes.
Reiki and angels, and it's very deep if you wanna try. But I would suggest the information that comes from Bob comes straight from your higher self. If they are recommending MER,
EMDR.
EMD, I'm sorry, I'm really bad, I don't remember those things. But I hope you took note, and also you can come back on this recording
Yeah.
and check it
And
out.
energy
You'll
healing
be able to
from,
find.
yeah, and energy healing from Eleanor, that might help you too. I just looked over at Anne Marie's comments and she said she fell into sadness about her life choices and went into victim mode. That is what I was talking about, because there would have been two choices there. One would have been to remain the victim, and one would have been to, excuse me, step out of it. Oh, excuse me. So that's what that is. And that's interesting that that just happened. So when I'm doing readings and connecting with people, I tend to like, burp or yawn. And I know it's me getting the energy from the other person. So it happens all the time in readings. Normally I don't. So someone just like released some energy and I picked up on it. It could have been you, Anne Marie, which is fine. But I definitely got that. Yeah, what I said had to have matched the part about the victim thing.
Oh, that's great. Yes, and Nimira say, okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, is there anybody else? I don't think there is. It's up to you, whatever you'd like to
So
do. Go
we
ahead.
have some time, so why we don't do a little bit of me, but instead of I ask those crazy questions that I used to ask you, that
Well,
I'm
I
not
can do them.
ready
There's
for.
like a message for the collective if you want. Do you want me
Oh,
to like channel
yeah,
something and we can draw a card for like everybody who's watching?
yes, that will be great.
All right, so for
But
the collective,
also,
you go ahead.
okay, go ahead. You can, if my guides have anything to tell me, because they you know what I can tell here.
Right.
If they don't, it's okay.
Yeah, let me see what Eleanor's guides want to say. They're telling me that I'm supposed to tell you to stop worrying about like what you're saying or like what you're doing, that you're doing everything perfectly right, and that some of the that you made a decision or you had a shift Sunday or Monday, and that it's the right thing. That make any sense?
Not yet, but I'm sure it will.
Yeah, Monday is something on Monday. So yeah, that's another thing I should mention. So I tell people stuff, and sometimes they'll be like, "Rrr," technical term right there. Like they're not sure. But what I have discovered is 99% of the time, or 9 out of 10 times, it does make sense, but it might not make sense at that very moment. So one of the
Exactly.
things I
You're
do in
looking
my
at the
practice is
future.
I record all my readings and I send them to people. And like I tell them, if you watch this and then you have a question, feel free to email me, because I want to make sure that one, you're going to come back, and two, that it's not a one-shot deal, because I know that part of getting clarity in that is at this moment you might have had question A, but it's really about question B. So that's one of the things I do. So that's what I heard for you. For the collective, what I'm hearing is that all the people who are watching this, whether you're watching it as we're doing it or later, you're in the right place, and you were attracted here just to know that you're in a safe community, and that there's a lot, hundreds of like-minded people who are in this community. So it's safe for you to reach out and ask questions and receive knowledge and guidance. Many of you come just for the guidance or that sense of connection, and that's just a beautiful thing. It's not like you have to, they're saying you don't really have to participate, but the Bob part of me is saying just by being here, you're participating in like being in the energy of what it is in the healing. And that for all of you who are wondering, like, what is the next thing we're supposed to do? And like being concerned about that, what I'm hearing is just kind of surrender. Yeah, what I'm hearing is that people watching that need to know it's okay to surrender and let the universe guide you and let the universe put you in the right place at the right time. And that not all of you need to always be thinking, okay, I got to do A, B, C, D. Kind of like see how it floats out. Like maybe you're going to do whatever D is first. So that's the message I got for that. Let me draw a card too, might as well. Let's
Amazing.
just see
Thank you,
what we get
Bob.
here. So, oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to use these because let me just see. Hold on. So when I do readings, I hold yeah, that one's warm. I hold my left hand over the cards to see which deck is warm. No, it's going to be these. So we are going to draw a tarot deck. Let me see. All right. So I want a card for the whole collective, for the group. Okay, you can't make it up. Watch this. Oh, I'll just hold it up. This is the 10 of Pentacles. This is the money card. So it's great abundance, happy family life, great joy. So all of you who are here, somehow there's abundance coming for you. It might not be clear just yet, but actually, hold on. I'm going to do my camera. Yep. Okay. So because I hate holding them up. So look at this. So the first card we got was this one, the 10 of Pentacles. That's all about money and joy and happiness and abundance. This is about moving forward, Six of Swords. So in this card, she has made the decision, the swords, to move forward away from the drama, the water right here, into the smooth water. So this is like, for many of you, this is a physical move. For the rest of you, if it's not a physical move, it's a mental one. And you're moving into a place of being the emperor. This is using your wisdom, setting boundaries. They're screaming at me. It's about setting boundaries. And that the more you set the boundaries and you set the rules, the easier it is for the money and that joy to come your way. Let's hold on. There's one more. Where did it go? I think it's the bottom one. Yep. Because when that happens, look at that one. To me, that's all about emotional stability. All the cups, which are about emotions, are stacked there. They're not going anywhere. So it's about the joy that's coming for you right around. But for many of you, this message is also like it's okay for you to surrender and allow the universe to stir things up. Okay? Hopefully, I was going to say you'd have a question, but since we're doing it for the group, I guess there won't be a question.
That's really, really amazing. I do have a question for the collective, Bob. Well, I'm having a feeling that people soon will realize about the sickness health system that we have. And they'll kind of be saying, oh, so now where I go, where can I go? Where can I get the comfort for my pains? What the universe has to do about where to find help or how to learn to heal yourself.
Yeah, what I heard on that is people are going to learn to turn to themselves or turn on the inside to get the healing that they need. If they're in I mean, because a lot that's for the mental pain part. The people who are in physical pain, they're showing me in my head like going to the ER, like hospital. Like so there's still going to be that assistance out there, but I feel like for the mental things, and that might be hard, which is why I'm getting that people are going to turn to themselves. This deck that I wanted to draw from, which I'm going to do now, is it still discarded? It is. This one is called Zebu Angelic Symbols. So the woman who made it was meditating and she got the symbols and she asked what they meant. I use it at the end of all my sessions because it always matches what we talked about. This card says moderation. I live in a healthy place of moderation, which blends the two extremes. We've been talking about that in some way. The other one says reconnection. It says, I breathe in life affirming energy from source and know that we are all one. And then the last one's going to be this one, reciprocity, that you thrive in a beautiful balance of giving and receiving. These three are for the collective. So about living in moderation, reconnecting to your highest self, and then giving back to yourself and nurturing yourself and doing nice things for yourself. Because so many of us are always giving, 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 and not getting anything back. And the universe is reminding you now it's okay for you to give yourself something back. And when people ask me about that, here in Phoenix, there's a place you can go. It's called a float tank. It looks like an egg, big egg, and there's salt water in it, and you can float and kind of like zone out. There's that. You can get a massage. I tell people like to go for a walk outside. It's 180 in Phoenix today, so probably not here, but maybe tonight. I mean, outside it's not too bad at night. Or maybe some people like to do retail therapy, go walk around the mall, but whatever it is, it's doing something for yourself. And I feel like as long as you plan like 1 day a week to do that, so that means you can't have your phone and your computer and all that doing that 7 days a week, 80 hours a day. Because that's just going to lead you to burnout. So in my practice, what I do is I do readings Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and I have 3 days off every week. Although I still will meet with people during those 3 days, but it has to be like, if it's a party or an extenuating circumstance. And that's how I nourish myself because I know during the days that I'm doing readings and I'm booked all day long, I'm seeing a lot of people. And so that's how I recharge at the end of the day so I can still be
That's
my
very
best because I know
important.
that's what people they're coming to me for. They're depending on me for that. And I take that responsibility extremely seriously.
Bob, thank you so much. And I'd like to address the people that are watching. This is a safe community, and this podcast was developed to bring alternatives for you, to bring choices. So you know that you have choices on learning how to help yourself. As I said, we are just channels for healing, channels for information to help you connect with your true self. And if you wanted to contribute with this work, there is many ways that you can do. Straight away, just hit the like button in this video, leave a message. You can also connect with Bob, go to his website, subscribe to this channel, send this information for anyone that you think that can benefit from. And if Bob can forgive me a little bit, I would like to show my website
Oh, yes, go ahead.
and show what I have to offer over there, that people can also start to connect to themselves. So my offers start for free. If you just click in free distant Reiki, I call Reiki because it's the main part of my job, my work, but it's not just Reiki. I connect to the angels, to the archangels, and I use chromotherapy, visualization. I combine a lot of modalities together to help you. So over there, this is completely free. You can also find in my YouTube channel. Just go and experiment. Don't try. This one is to heal your root chakra. Don't try just one time and said that it doesn't work. Actually, this is to release stress. Try for 3 days. Before you go to sleep, just put it very low and go sleep. And then I guarantee you, at least on the third day, you're gonna see something that happened differently, that is beneficial, that you can connect to it. And what I'd like to call your attention is to the shopping. I just created a program and I have a very, very good deal. This product comes with 3 recording sessions to release limited beliefs about abundance from past lives, childhood experiences, or anything in this current life, and also from generational traumas. It's come with a guided book that you can, with affirmations, teach you how to connect to this energy, and a lot of practical exercise so you can work for 21 days. This is a 21 days program that you can get for only $33. And I'll keep it this way at least for 1 more week. And there is many other things that I can offer, that I offer in my website, but I prefer that you go there. I don't want to extend too much this live because this is about Bob. The last thing that I want to say is I do everything in English, Portuguese, and Spanish. So you can go there and choose your favorite language. So now going back to Bob, and we are exactly at 1 hour. Is here, I'd like to extend that invitation for you to come back because people love you, and you that are watching, if you want to be that lucky person that Bob, that you come to the waiting room and connect straight to Bob, just go to my website and fill out the form and say you want to be in Bob's show, Bob's podcast. And I invite you also to come. We're gonna let you know about when he'll come back with at least a week. So plan yourself to be alive and ask your questions, and that will be great. And I think it will be very beneficial. I did love all single moments of this show. I tell you, you are amazing, and I'm learning so much from you, not only about a lot of things, but mainly about myself. And you are truly a gift to the world, and well done.
Thank you.
And
Thank you so
that's
much for
everything.
having me. That was fun. I was glad I was looking over the chat. I was glad I was able to help that one person.
I
And Kimberly too, because well, yeah, I met Kimberly before, but yeah.
I think you helped. Actually, was 2 people on the chat plus Kimberly. But I'm sure this show will help so many people.
I hope so.
I think everyone that will get in contact with will get something out of it.
Yeah.
And we just to let their guys do their job, and it will show up in their in their YouTube feed. So Bob, thank you very much. So much
My pleasure.
gratitude
I
to
will love to
you.
do this again. Just let me know.
Yes, let's schedule again. And how do you think about August or September? Pick a month.
Either one of them will be fine, whatever works for you. Let's do September.
Okay, let's do September.
Yeah.
Offline, we check the date and then you let people know in advance.
Right.
But, if you are watching this in September, Bobby the Psychic will come back.
Yes, I'll be back.
So make sure you're gonna be alive so you can ask your questions. if I have too many requests for people to be on the waiting room, I may have 2 or 3 people in the waiting room, or maybe you're gonna have to choose, create a system to choose someone to be.
Yes.
But meanwhile, you can always go to Bob's website and connect to him. Is in the description of this live.
Yep.
Bob, would you have like a last message to
The
people?
last message.
Can
Wow.
be from you.
My guides are wanting to say thank you all for being here. We were so glad we were able to be of service. And that, oh, they want me to tell, okay, I think it's love yourself first. You mentioned about cancer over there. They're telling me you need to go to Eleonora, have an energy healing. That there's something about the energy around where the chemo worked that just needs to be like shaken or removed. That's how I'm seeing it. So
Which one is from who?
that's for love yourself first. I believe she typed in there that she.
Oh, love yourself first. I want to let you know that the reason why I started to do Reiki is because I have an aunt that had cancer, and I did help her a lot. There is another person that I know that I don't want to disclose right now, that I did distant Reiki for her every day for 3 weeks, and her cancer reduced drastically. And I'm working with another one that decided not even go to do the chemo, but that's her choice. And I'm doing the distance Reiki for her. So she's feeling better, but I don't know the results on her yet. And I'll be very happy to connect with you. So just go to my website that you can send an email on the contact page, but there you can also find my phone that you can text, and then we can talk, and I can help you from there. Bob, I think we don't really need to ask for any discount, because every single minute of your time worth is like gold. And you have a product starting as little as $35. So
And I
if
usually
you
run
want
over
to find,
anyways. So if it
yes,
says 15 minutes, I mean, the alarm goes off, but I always like staying long enough to make sure that you got what you came for. So it's
yes,
not, excuse me, it's not like a firm, like,
yes.
15 or 30.
I will let you go because I know we just can't stop talking, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Bob.
Thank
So
you so
much
much for having me. I look forward to coming back and helping anyone out there. Go to my
yes.
website. It's bobthepsychic.com.
Thank you everyone for being here. Love and light to all. Let me just. Okay, I just turn off the YouTube.
Thank you both so much.